Hey, it's Erin. Today for my tutorial, I'm going to draw blonde dog fur. So you say, blonde, how are you going to do blonde with black charcoal? Well, that's a very good question. We're going to use graphite mostly today. So those are your lighter pencils, your B's and your H's. So get those out, and you're going to need lots of erasers today and lots of blending tools. And I'll go through all that as I draw. So get your pencils ready to draw. We're just going to start out with this stock image that I found on Google Images and draw the longer blonde hair that's around his neck. So we're going to start out with our H2 or one of your H graphite pencils and lightly outline the direction of the hair. Make sure you really keep an eye on the way the hair lies. So some pieces are longer, some are shorter, some are on top, some are underneath, some go right, some go left, some are curly, some are straight. So really pay attention to that when you're drawing the outline of your hair. Then just come in with your Q-tip and blend away. Now I'm going to come in with my B graphite pencil. I'm actually going to start out with the 2B and then I'll build on top of that with a darker B graphite pencil. So I'm going to go ahead and just highlight or darken the darker areas of the fur. So the shadows, the lines, things like that. You're still going to keep it lighter because you're going to probably still erase. You don't want to go too dark quite yet, but you definitely want to go ahead and get those darker areas of fur put into place. And then get that Q-tip out again and blend, blend, blend. Now I'm going to move to my 6B graphite pencil, which is a little darker than that 2B. And again, just go over the darker areas of the fur, mostly kind of underneath the fur, the shadows, the darker shadows, and some of those lines again. And blend. Then I'm going to go in with my loose powdered charcoal and my paintbrush. If you have a charcoal specific brush, great. I just used a round tipped paintbrush and it works great. Make sure when you get the charcoal on the brush, you really tap it off before you hit that paper with it because it can be very dark and it isn't super easy to erase. So you'll want to start light and then build up from there. And blend. Then I'm going to come in with my mechanical eraser. It's Mono Zero brand. And go in and just kind of highlight the lighter strokes of the fur. So this is where you're really going to get your texture of the fur and showcase the direction the fur lays, and it actually starts to look a lot more realistic. And make sure to keep in a lot of those darker lines that you've already added, the lighter shadows that you've added. Don't erase too much, but just, again, highlight the areas of the lighter, whiter fur. Don't worry about the eraser dust. You just come in with a Q-tip, and as you blend, that eraser dust will disappear and kind of just wipe it off as you go. Then go in with your brush and lightly grab some of that loose charcoal again, and make sure, again, to tap it off before you touch the paper with it. And I'm just going to go in and kind of darken up those shadows a little bit. And the paintbrush and the loose charcoal work great for also blending. So you're just kind of use this to darken those darker areas that you want to really stand out and while blending. So now I'm going to come back in with my mechanical eraser and really brighten up the whiter areas again. A lot of those were covered as I was blending, so I really want to make sure those are all highlighted. And then again, come in with that Q-tip just to blend a little bit, but mostly just to get rid of that eraser dust. Then I'm going to come back in with my 4H graphite pencil, which is one of my lighter graphite pencils, and kind of add some hair lines, thin hair lines, and some kind of flyaway hairs that kind of, will lay on top of what I've already done. And again, just blend everything out. And add some more highlights and lighter hairs with that mechanical eraser. And blend. Then you can use that mechanical eraser to kind of make some flyaway hairs, add some depth to the layers of hair, and just kind of, again, re-highlight everything. I see some areas that I want to really darken up a bit more, so I'm going to come in with my B6 graphite pencil and add some darker lines to a few areas. Then I'm going to come in with my mechanical eraser and just add some lines and texture to some of this fur. And you always want to make sure to blend out the white lines that you add. Then I'm going to come back in with my 6B graphite, darker graphite pencil. And again, just kind of get those hairs that are laying on the bottom layer, just to really kind of give that dimension and separate it from the lighter hair. Then I'm going to come back in with my mechanical eraser and just re-highlight all those areas that I want to stand out and look like they're above the darker areas. Then I'm going to come in with my kneaded eraser and just kind of pinch the top to get that tip to it. And I'm going to do a little bit bigger highlights than that smaller tip of the mechanical eraser. And again, if you don't have a mechanical eraser, you can kind of get this same effect with your drawing by just using a kneaded eraser. And just remember, anytime you make lines, whether they be light or dark, you should come in with your Q-tip and blend everything out. And here's the end result. So this is long blonde fur with lots of shadows and highlights, giving it depth and while still giving it that blonde appearance. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. I hope you learned a lot about drawing blonde dog hair. Hope to see you again for my next tutorial. Thanks. Bye, guys.